Hi, I'm Reverend Wendy Craig-Purcell here at the Unity Center in San Diego. Thank you so much for watching today. If you'd like to support the work that we do here, please consider making a contribution. Go to our website. It's easy to do. Thank you in advance for that contribution.
Well, we're here at Memorial Day. And Memorial Day is a time of remembrance, not just of Bill, but of people who have made a special dent in your life. People who have taught you something, who have cared for you, who have loved you. People who are not physically here right now, but you know what? They are here emotionally, energetically. And God gave us one incredible ability, something beyond all the other wonderful things that we can do. He gave us our memory. And with that memory, we can remember those things of wonderful people that passed, of wonderful events that we attended, of wonderful activities that we were part of. And in that remembrance, our memory is really something that protects us. Now, I need a show of hands, because I know I'm not the only one. Has anybody ever done something incorrectly and then later on began to do it incorrectly again? And you caught yourself and you said, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, your heads are going up and down, up and down. See, the fact is that our memory teaches us how to protect ourselves. It teaches us not to go into the wrong areas of our world, of our mind. It teaches us to do wonderful things, but to stay away from the things that are not so wonderful. Like Brussels sprouts. You know, they joke about as we get a little bit older, we forget things. And we're sitting there in the room and we say, oh, I need to get such and such. And we walk into the next room and we go, what did I come here for? And you know, this has nothing to do with age. This has nothing to do with age, because our memories are really very good. I don't care how old you are. Can you remember a vacation right now? Close your eyes. Think of a vacation that you enjoyed. Remember it in your mind. Feel it. Think about who you were with. Perhaps the food that you ate. Whether it was a sunset in the evening, during the day. See, your memory is good. You can open your eyes. You don't have to. You can keep your eyes closed. Do you have at least one person in your life that changed your life for the better? Do you have a grandparent, an uncle, a sister, a brother who made a difference in your life? I know you do, and you're blessed because of it. You're blessed because of it. A year and a half ago, I lost my brother, my younger brother, who was the kind of special person that would go out of his way to help someone. Out of his way to make sure that the person who didn't have enough had enough. The kind of guy who would tip the waiter, not your 15%, not your 20%, but just what he felt. Leave a 20. It's okay. Each one of you has someone like that, don't you? someone who taught you about life's lessons. And you know, sometimes it turns out to be with people that you didn't even expect it, that they help you out of nowhere. Has a stranger ever helped you? Hands? Everyone. A stranger helped you. These are the memories that we need to keep with us in the times when things aren't going as well as we would like. To remember those people who made a difference in our life and make sure that we pass on that kind of caring, that kind of difference with everyone that we meet. And it doesn't matter what they look like, what the color of their skin is, what their sexual orientation is, what their age, it doesn't matter what faith they belong to, because we're all part of God's program. Brought you all together here to learn and meet one another and care for one another and do the things that are supposed to be done when we meet people. As far as remembrance, that's really good. We remember things. But we also need the reflection of what that meant. This is where our family comes into play. Remember your family parties, your Thanksgivings, your Christmas, the parties where everybody got together and now you know you shouldn't be talking about such and such when Uncle so-and-so comes in. Yeah, you all had an Uncle so-and-so. It's absolutely amazing how our family brings us together. And this family sitting here right now, everybody, look around you. You see all these people? There's probably 400, 500 people sitting in this room. And they all came because it was special for the day. You're with family, you're with friends, you're with people that make a difference. That's why we tell stories, why stories are so important. You learn the story about how Uncle so-and-so got into trouble. And don't you do that kind of thing, right? You got that from your parents, got that from your grandparents? Don't you get into trouble, because if you get into trouble, you'll be in jail like him. Now, none of them are in jail, right? See, the important thing is that we learn from one another. Having a Memorial Day is that we memorialize those who made a difference and showed us how to make a difference with everyone that we meet. When we get life's lessons, we learn that some of the things that we learn we don't like. We were told about freedom, and we finally learned that freedom isn't free. Freedom isn't free. It comes with responsibility. And those people who have chosen to go into the military, whatever you think of the military, forget politics, forget what you think about war. Those people who chose to put their life on the line did so knowing that they could make a difference. Were they scared? You better believe it. Fear is something that we all have. When you go into a new situation, I don't care if it's a new relationship, a new job, a new adventure, even when you travel somewhere else, there's a fear there. But we have people in this society who have chosen to go beyond fear, to stand up for what's right, even if it means their life. The practice of remembering together as a family. I love it when we think about the people who we went to school with. And I have to tell you, I'm from Philadelphia. Any Philly boys? No? Okay. Every time I hear the word Philadelphia cheesesteak, I get all excited. But my high school graduation class had 952 students. It was a long time ago, before they had these little groups. 952 students, and on the 25th anniversary of the graduation, they invited me to come and do the opening prayer. And they were going to make a big thing about putting all the people's names that memorialized, that they could, whoever they could get, put the names up of people who had passed since the graduation. And unfortunately, once they got past 100 of the 952, they decided to just ask me to do a general overview, because there were so many who passed. There were so many who needed a ritual or a memorial or something to acknowledge them that they did something special. During the Vietnam era, so many passed. And yet there's so many that are still around. You know, we need these rituals. We need these times where we come together. Jesus said at the Passover, "Do this in remembrance of me." It's all about remembering. It's all about our memories. At Christmas time, we tell stories, don't we? Tell stories about the angels, Santa Claus on the roof, reindeer. We talk about anything so that everybody feels together. The family is together. The adults, the grandparents, the children, we're all together. And in that togetherness, we make a difference. We make a difference in everybody else's life. I'm going to charge each one of you to realize how important you are. Because by you making a difference in someone else's life, in a child's life, you can guide them to be doing the right thing. We build on our strengths. What lessons have you learned in life that have made a major change for the good? For you and for your families. And when you can acknowledge that, when you know that, then you can make a difference in other people's lives. You're here to make a difference. The same way that you remember the grandparents and you remember those who have fallen in battle, and you remember the children and your brothers and sisters and whatever, you need people to remember you. I made a difference in someone's life. Years ago, when I spoke last month, I told you about my stroke. The situation of a year later, I began to volunteer and talk to other stroke patients. And there was one stroke patient who when I walked in his room, I said, "Hey, Al, how are you? I understand that you and I have something in common. We're both stroke survivors. And you're going to make a recovery, and everything's going to be okay." And I walked out of his room with him having almost nothing to say. But when I came back a week later, he said to me, "You don't know me, but when you came into my room last week, I knew that I was going to kill myself. I knew where my gun was. And as soon as I got home, I was going to kill myself. But because of you coming into the room and saying there was hope, that I'm not going to kill myself. Gratitude. Gratitude. There's an article by Cynthia Ackrell, and she stresses about what we can learn from our vets with regard to Memorial Day. And one of the first things that she talks about is that we have to have core civil values within ourselves. What are the values that you carry with you? Honor, respect, dignity. Are you willing to put somebody else's life ahead of yours in an emergency situation? And more than anything else, I'm asking you, what is your purpose for being here? You may not have been asked that before. And you may not have the answer immediately. And perhaps later today or this weekend or throughout the week, or maybe something tonight will come to you that says, my purpose is to be here for others. My purpose is to stand out when others won't stand out. My purpose is to make sure that I instill in others something special, something that will give them the opportunity to make memories for other people. You know, I mentioned that fear is part of life. When we're doing something new, we fear perhaps failure. But when we come together in this room, when we come together with our families, when we come together with people who believe what we believe, that all people are created equal, when we take the time to realize there's, the old thing, there's no I in team. We bring the team together. Our family, our loved ones, knowing that they are making a difference and helping us get through the fear, helping us get through what perhaps looks like something we can't do. And to know absolutely that we can. When we get together with our family, we have a bigger perspective of what's possible. I know that I can do more tomorrow than I can do today. Why? Because my memory tells me that what I'm doing today wasn't as much as what I could do yesterday, or last week, or a year ago. That time gives us more and more power to know who we are, what we are, why we're here, and to remember how good the God Spirit coming through each one of us is. Michelle Obama said, we've got a responsibility to live up to the legacy of those who came before us by doing all that we can to help those who come after us. We've got a responsibility to live up to the legacy of those who came before us by doing all that we can to help those who come after us. You have a responsibility. Your responsibility is to show people that they can make a difference. Why? Because you can make a difference in their life, in the life of many, many others. So I'm asking you that this weekend, for the Memorial Day holiday, you become a little proactive, showing your appreciation, fly the flags, go up and make a point to thank a veteran, put flowers and flags on a grave, perhaps even sponsor some of the bouquets through the National Memorial Day Foundation. Become active in creating memories for other people. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, happening around the world, at least throughout the United States, we are stopping at 3 o'clock for a moment of silence to know that it's okay to remember. And in remembering, we understand that nothing ever dies, nothing ever goes away, that beauty is here, that it will continue to be here. When I spoke last, I told you about energy, that it can't be created nor destroyed. And what that means is that all the people who passed over the past years, grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, children, whatever, are still here. But like the ice that turns into water, that turns into steam that you can't see, the body is here. You just can't see it. And so I'd like to do something now. I'd like to pause to have us surround each and every person that you feel you have lost. To surround them with the power of love, the power of joy, the power of knowing that they are here. And if you will close your eyes, you will absolutely know that if you have lost someone dear to you in the service of our country, you don't have to identify yourself. Just know and understand right now that the energy of those people are still here now. Close your eyes and feel them. Your memories make them real. They are filling the aisles. They are filling the seats that were vacant. They are through the stage. They were all over this room, filling with love and joy and peace. We call out their names knowing that they're here with us. We know absolutely that as we accept the energy of those people who physically are not here, we know that their memory makes them real. Hold to that. Feel that person. Feel those people, even if you don't know their names, and say thank you. Thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for changing who I am and making me part of God's plan. As they fill this sanctuary, they fill your life, and they know absolutely that we are all blessed. Let's not forget, we are blessed. So it is. God bless.
Many people enjoy Reverend Wendy's talks and meditations and aren't able to attend the Unity Center in person. If you're part of our extended family from around the world and would like to help support the Unity Center, please go to our website or download our free app, which offers even more ways to connect with the Unity Center. Namaste.